Claudia. With detention center and Maria. Looks like Claudia is not going to connect. There she is. You're on now. You're muted though. I know. Well, I don't need to hear you at all. We're just waiting for Anthony and
Joseph.
Joseph's can do it.
Yes.
We had this guy on bond before, Hector Rangel.
No, we had Maida Ringdale. She was a
Sister.
clerk, and she was in probation.
Vito. All missing is a DA and a Joseph. That's Joseph. Now we're missing is a DA. I forgot. But there is. Who's Ruby Dajajo? Roby Hanju.
Probably somebody.
Witness.
Yeah, it would be Maria.
Not a new prosecutor.
Yes, sir.
Oh, the red face.
That's like not that red.
I know, but it's on the camera. It's really red. The camera adds lots more red to mine. So
And also add 5 pounds.
that's it. So I'm close to that fat. Oops. I forgot this recording. Yeah, whatever. All we need is a Anthony and we're ready to roll. Or Andrew. We get Andrew here. Train him. Still recording. No, I can turn off the record.
You should do that.
Because this has to be live. It doesn't have to be recorded. Tell Anthony to stop training Andrew right now. Get online.
He knows about it because he asked for the inmate case.
Or he's out sleeping in his car. Remember that? That was one of the funnier days. Do I have the?
Got an email last week.
That was last week.
It was supposed to have been set for last Thursday.
Who's Wrangle attorney? All right. Oops, I admitted the wrong person. All right.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Could we have Hector Wrangle first? All right, Mr. Wrangle, if you would raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
And I'm assuming you wanted to call him to testify.
I will call him for the purposes of this hearing, Your Honor. Hector, could you please state your name for the record?
Hector Cecilio Rangel.
And how old are you, sir?
I'm 41.
Okay. Now, you understand the purpose of this today is that you wanted me to request what we call a mental health bond so that you could be released from custody. We've discussed this previously, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You understand that the purpose of this is for you to get out, to maintain treatment, and to be able to go to that treatment while this case is awaiting disposition, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, in order to do that, the court has to satisfy itself about certain things. One of
Yes,
which is it has to know that where you're going to be, and it has to know who's going to bring you back here or whether or not you can transport yourself. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's focus on that first. What is your plan for if you are released, who will you stay with?
Okay, I'm gonna stay with a family member,
And who is that?
my twin brother.
Your twin brother. Okay. What is his name and where does he live?
Okay, his name is Juan Carlos Rangel, and he lives on Little Elm.
He lives in Little Elm. Okay. Now, in preparation for this hearing, you gave some information to Mr. Hill, namely your sister's contact information, and have you been made aware that we were not able to get in touch with your sister?
No, I'm being able to talk. I mean, I'm constantly in contact with her.
I understand, but that's something that the court might want to have confirmed before you're released. You understand that, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
I do.
Okay. You also understand that the court might want to confirm that you actually have a treatment plan in the eventuality you get out of jail. You understand that, correct?
Yes, sir, I do.
And because of the weather last week and some other things that there may be a delay in accomplishing all that, correct?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about your situation. Have you been diagnosed with a mental health issue in the past?
No, sir.
Well, hold on a second. Have you gone to a
No.
hospital to be treated
Oh.
for a mental health issue?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
And you've been recently assessed by a doctor in February regarding your mental health needs, correct?
Correct, that's correct.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, we would ask that the court take judicial notice of the MHA that's been on file. For Mr.
And I
Rangel.
do have a copy of it. I haven't reviewed it, so. I will.
Okay. Mr. Rangel, you understand that if you are released from custody, you are going to have to maintain very strict compliance with taking your meds and seeing your doctors. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You also understand too that that if you will be required to come in and check in with the court, at least initially, probably twice a month, at least once a month, and you're going to have to maintain contact with either Mr. Hill or Tony Fox. You understand
Yes.
that, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you have a job when you were outside of jail?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Did you have a job when you were outside of jail?
No, at the moment.
Okay. Who was taking care of you? How were you supporting yourself?
My savings.
Okay. And do you have savings enough to support yourself if you're outside of jail?
Not right now.
Okay. So have you been determined by the federal government to be disabled?
Yeah. I haven't,
Did you hear my question?
yeah, can you repeat it?
Have you been determined by the federal government or the state of Texas to be disabled?
No, sir.
Right. And finally, for just solely for immigration purposes, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir. I'm a
Okay, what
U.S. Naturalized citizen.
So you're a naturalized citizen. So you have your green card and you have your citizenship, correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Besides your twin brother, for the record, what's your sister's name and where does she live?
Anaí Rangel, and she
Okay.
lives in Garland, Texas.
And where?
Garland?
Garland. Okay.
Garland.
So there's a possibility of you having two relatives to stay with. Is that true?
That's correct.
Do you own a car?
Well, it's in the in Plano's property right now. I have to get it out from the
Okay.
pound company.
So if you're not able to get it out of impound, would either your brother or sister be able to give you rides to the Collin County Courthouse to check in with the court?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have nothing further at this time, Your Honor. I'll pass this witness.
Does the state have any questions?
Sorry, Your Honor. Just briefly, Mr. Rangel, are you getting medication while you're inside the jail right now?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe that is helping you?
Yes, sir.
Do you know what medication you're currently taking?
To be honest with you, I don't recall right now the medicine, but it's just to relax my mind that's stressed and keep it not to release stress and don't be so like thinking a lot of things and they're not real.
Okay. Do you have any suicidal history or anything? Have you ever been suicidal?
No, I mean, I've never had suicide about only anxiety, and now try to hurt nobody else.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Anything else from the defendant?
I have nothing further at this time, Your Honor.
And does the state have anything else to add?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Both sides rest and close.
We rest and close.
Yes,
Any
sir.
argument from the state?
Your Honor, I'm just going to read the defendant's criminal history into the record.
Okay.
He was arrested in Greenville County in 2020 on criminal trespass with no prosecution or court data available. On the same day, he was also arrested for resisting in Greenville County. He was later arrested in March of 2021 for ag assault of a public servant in Greenville County, and that was eventually rejected without pre-trial diversion by the prosecutor's office. On that same day, he was arrested for resisting. In December of 2021, he was arrested for criminal trespass and possession of a controlled substance, with those cases currently pending here. And then recently, in January of 31st of 2022, he was arrested for fraudulent possession or use of a credit or debit card with no available court data.
Anything else?
Nothing else.
Any argument from the state?
No argument from the state, Your Honor.
Mr. Rangel, what we do is go ahead and get you out on a bond. You've got to follow the rules. The rules are that you've got to check in with me probably once a month. We don't know when we'll start that again, but you'll be calling. Tony Fox is who you'll be calling when the time comes. Right now, Joseph is on the line with us. He's covering for her for the time being, but you got to check in with them every week and let them know how you're doing. Let them know if you need anything.
Yes,
You've got to take the medication that's prescribed to you. Obviously, it keeps you thinking right. When you're not on your medication, it looks like you seem to make up things and see things that aren't there. So you've got to take that medication, okay?
yes, sir.
I think the first check-in with me is probably going to be in 3 weeks, but we'll see. 2 weeks, March 17th. We'll see if we actually do that in person or how we do that. So, but when you call in, just ask what's going on and how you got to do that. But make sure you see your doctors and get on the medication and taking the right stuff. Okay. If you show up here and have anything in your system that's not supposed to be there, obviously you can go back to jail. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Joseph, did you want to share anything else with him?
Hi, Mr. Rangel. I just want to let you know that I'll be putting a folder in your property. That folder will have information for you regarding some of that stuff about checking in for court dates and everything like that, along with Tony Fox's contact information.
Thank you, sir.
It will most likely go to voicemail at this time, but go ahead and leave a voicemail. We'll be going through that and checking that. All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Good luck. Make sure you make your phone calls.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank
You
you.
have excuse, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. See you later.
Thank you.
All right. Is it Sangam
Danju?
Donju? All right. If you would raise your right hand to be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Judge, I
And-
have the father here and
Yeah, I see
I would
him.
like, I would like him to testify.
You want him to testify first or just
Yes,
instead of
please.
you? Okay. Mr. It's Roby Dangju? If you would raise your right hand, you're gonna have to unmute also. You swear or affirm testimony about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. Okay. Now you have to unmute and say that again. There you go.
Yes, I do.
Okay. There you go.
Mr. Danju, my name is Maria too. We have texted, did some written communication back and forth. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And is Mr. Sangam Danju, how is he related to you?
He's my son.
Okay, and so are you aware or are you familiar with his mental illness?
Yes, I am.
And what is he currently suffering from?
He has bipolar delusion symptoms that gets aggravated by something that he takes, maybe marijuana or some other drugs that we do not know. And he's been in and out of the hospital or jail for the last 4 months now.
I see. So is he currently on any type of prescription medication?
I am not aware of it. There are some medications that he was taking when he was in the hospital, and then we had admitted him in a residential facility. But I'm not aware of what medication that he is taking. He's doing much better. So whatever he's taking or not taking seems to be helping him.
All right. So do you understand your son currently is facing a charge of possession and controlled substance? Do you understand that?
Yes.
It is a state jail felony. And has your son had any previous criminal history that you know of?
No.
So this is the first time?
Yes.
And so if your son were to be released, where would he live?
He will live with us. We live in Plano.
All right. And what is the address?
4529 Rising Hill Drive, and that's in Plano, Collin
And
County.
will you be transporting him back and forth from the courthouse as well as to any type of treatment that he needs?
Yes, we will.
You will?
Yes,
Do you work?
I do.
So who would transport if you were at work?
I am a telecom engineer. I work in Richardson, and I have a very flexible schedule. I work almost 24 hours in terms of what I need to do, so I can take off from work. My wife is a medical technologist. She works in Medical City. So one of us can arrange it, or we will make sure that he gets an Uber.
I
But
see.
we will make sure.
And currently, do you have insurance for your son?
We do. He is on our insurance right now.
Okay. And is there any plan as to continuing some type of services for him for his mental illness?
Yes. So we have to work with him. That he was already getting some help, and when he starts feeling better, he thinks he doesn't need the medication, and then he stops taking them, and then after almost a year, he goes into this manic phase. This is what happened last time when he ended up, and then he doesn't know. He says things that are not right. He's very abusive to us. We
So,
have called the
Mr.
police.
Donju, so at this point, are you still willing to take him into your house knowing all this?
Yes, yes, we are. He does realize, and we do want to help him, and we will take him. Yes.
Okay, and you have preventative measures at home to protect in case he gets into the manic state again. What would you do?
Yeah, we have called the police in the past, and then
Okay.
we have his word, and he seems to be pretty stable now. I've revisited him in the jail 3 times or 4 times so far. I've talked with him. He understands what is expected of him. He understands the gravity of the charges, although he doesn't remember how he got the possession of what he's charged with. But
Right.
yes.
So, Mr. Donju, so at this point, you do understand that under the mental health bond, he is required to check in on a weekly basis with the mental health team here in Collin County, as well as he needs to report in once a month with the judge to check in. Otherwise, he will get revoked and he goes back into the jail. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And you're willing to comply and abide by that?
Yes.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Any questions from the state?
All right, just a couple, Your Honor. Mr. Danju, you also know that a part of that is that if he doesn't want to take his medication, he'll have to go back to jail. Is that something, if he tells you he's not going to take his medication, are you okay with calling the police and letting him know?
Yes, I am.
Okay, that's all I have, Your Honor.
Any other witnesses from the?
I don't think it's necessary to call my client, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Okay. And so you rest.
May I say something, Your Honor?
You can. The attorney.
I just want to make sure that our son understands, and he was hearing what all you have just mentioned.
Okay, well, I
believe
that he's been on the Zoom with us, so
Okay.
he knows what's going on. And he will, if the judge grants a mental health bond, he will get a package in which it will admonish him as to what he can and cannot do.
Sounds good.
Does the state have anything else to add?
Nothing further at this time.
You rest?
Yes.
Any argument?
Oppose this motion based on the mental health assessment at this time.
Well, here's what I'm gonna do, Mr. Donju, Sangam Donju,
Yeah.
I'm gonna grant you a bond at this time, and the bond has conditions on it. You've got to follow those conditions. The main conditions are that you take the medication that's prescribed to you, you see all doctors and do whatever the doctors ask you to do, and follow their recommendations completely, okay? You'll have to call in and check in with the mental health office once a week, let them know how you're doing, let them know if you need anything. The other thing is follow all your parents' rules. You may live in their house, and all they've got to do is make a phone call and we'll put you back in jail.
All
So
right.
don't make them do that, okay? As long as you're doing well outside the jail, we're going to keep you outside the jail, getting treatment, getting better while you're waiting for these charges to do what they might do. Once a month, you'll come see me. I think the first check-in with me is going to be on the 17th. We're not sure we're doing in-person check-ins right now. So when you check in with the mental health office, they'll let you know whether you need to appear in my courtroom to check in, okay?
Gotcha.
Because of your charges, expect to be drug tested when you check in with me. If you have anything in your system other than what you're supposed to have in your system, expect to go back to jail, okay? So don't have anything in your system that's not supposed to be there, all right?
I'll get in the mail when what I can have and cannot have. I'll get in the mail what I can have, what I cannot have.
Well, what you can't have is like heroin and stuff like that. What you can have in your system is the medication that's prescribed to you, okay?
So no heroin.
No heroin,
Can I do weed?
no marijuana,
All right.
nothing that's illegal.
All right.
Are you gonna be able to do that?
Yeah.
You sure? Because
Yeah.
we don't want to
No-
waste our time on you.
I can
You
do
got,
that.
you can only take prescribed medications, okay?
All right. All right. Okay.
Joseph, did you want to share anything else with him?
Yes, I want to let you know that I'll be putting a folder in your property. They'll give it to you when you leave. Inside that folder will have information about the bond check-in stuff, along with Tony Fox's contact information. It's going to be a card. You're going to want to call that number. It is most likely going to go to voicemail. Go ahead and leave a voicemail stating who you are and why you're calling. Somebody's still going to be going through those voicemails, all right?
All right.
Okay, good luck. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Can you judge my big excuse?
Thank
Yes,
you,
see you
Ms.
later.
Faria. Bye, Sangam.
Bye.